So we have already discussed the 13 uses of simple present tense, 12 rules of present continuous tense. So today let's make a quantum leap to present perfect tense. And I have got for you 8 rules to understand the uses, function or purpose of present perfect tense. So how do I define present perfect tense? See, I cannot define present perfect or any tense in one specific statement. You need to know all the 8 rules or the 8 uses, and they all collectively sum up the definition of present perfect tense. I mean to say that if you want to understand present perfect tense, you need to understand all the 8 rules. Okay, so what is the construction of present perfect tense? It is subject plus has or have plus past participle of the verb. So look here, there are 3 narrative voices, as you know. First person narrative voice, second person narrative voice, third person narrative voice. So in the first person, we use I. I have written the letter. In second person, you say you have written the letter. In third person narrative voice, you can say he has written the letter, she has written the letter, it has written the letter, it has eaten or whatever. And this is plural, so here we use have. We also use have with the pronoun I and you. I have written, you have written, they have written. That's plural. And with he, she, it, we use the auxiliary verb has. So let's dig deeper and deeper into the 8 rules of present perfect tense for your better clarity. So this is rule number 1 of present perfect tense. Here we go. An action or situation that started in the past continues in the present, and it's possible that it will continue in the future. Okay, it may or may not happen. It's possible. This is important in present perfect tense. Rule number 1. Did you understand? And the event or the action takes place in the past, continues in the present, and maybe it's possible that it can even continue in the future. Now let's understand this rule with examples. Example 1. She has used the car for 10 years. You see, has plus used makes it present perfect tense. So look at the example. She has used the car for 10 years. Imagine that your friend comes to you and he or she puts you up with a question. Do you have plans to replace your car? You look confused and you say, I have used the car for 10 years. She has used the car for 10 years, which means she has no intention of getting it replaced. It's her soul. Her car is her everything. She has used the car for 10 years, so she's still using it in the present, and it will be so in the future also. So in such cases, we use present perfect tense. Look at the second example. Have you read that book? Have you read that book before? So this is interrogative sentence in present perfect tense. Have you read that book before? Now, to ask this question, the reading should have taken place in the past, but the speaker and the recipient's communication is taking place at the moment, that is right now. So the action has started in the past, but the communication is taking place in the present. Let's leap on to third example. I have not seen her. This is a negative sentence. Have seen. I have not seen her today. So this third example means the person, whoever, has gone missing in the past, and currently I'm in search of her. The person is nowhere to be seen. Someone is searching her. So in that case, a person has gone missing in the past but is being searched for currently at the present moment. We use present perfect tense. Let's look at the fourth example. The army has attacked them. Imagine that you are sitting on a sofa and watching the movie. Suddenly there is a notification, a news reader comes up and she makes this announcement. The army has attacked the border of the nation. Now what does that mean? Why do we use present perfect tense here? It means the attack has taken place sometime in the past, but the reader is announcing it right then, right at the moment. So it started in the past but continues in the present, and possible that the attack can progress and continue to the future as well. We use present perfect tense. Now let's look at the fifth example. I have lived in Berlin since 1990. So this is the verb present perfect tense here, have lived. Imagine that someone comes to you after a long time and asks you, hey, where are you? Where were you? Where have you been? So you say, I have lived in Berlin since 1990. That means I have no intention to relocate to Canada or to US anywhere. I am in Berlin, and it's possible that I will be in Berlin. Since 1990, I have lived my life in Berlin only. Okay, so in such cases, action in the past, continuity in the present, possibility in the future, we use present perfect tense. Rule number 1 is done. Now this is rule number 2 of present perfect tense. A repeated action or event between the past and now. If there is a repeated action between the past and the present, then we use PPT, present perfect tense. For your better understanding, let's have a look at the examples. Example 1, we have visited Mumbai several times. Have visited is present perfect. Imagine someone comes to you and asks you, where were you? And you say, oh, we had been to Mumbai. Actually, we have visited Mumbai several times. So what does that point out? We had been to Mumbai, but we have visited Mumbai several times. Means there is a progress, there is a continuity between the past and in the present. Okay, your frequent trips to Mumbai is actually a sequence because you love the place, you love doing it more. There is possibility of more because you love it. Okay, you are intending to visit it in future also. You'll be doing it. It's uninterrupted in a sequence of actions. In that case, we use present perfect tense. Okay, let's move on to the second example. I have used this brand of soap. Okay, so if you look here, it is in present perfect tense. Now, in order to get this example as an answer, I'll ask two questions and I'll get only this same answer for the two questions. Get ready. The first question is, have you used this brand of soap before? Oh yes, yeah, I have used this brand of soap. And my second question is, which brand of soap do you use? I have used this brand of soap. Okay, I hope you got it. So for both the questions, something that draws our attention is to the past. The time of the past and the present is being drawn out. Okay, I hope you understood it. Now the third example is, we have seen her before. We have seen her. You are saying to someone at the present moment, yes, we have seen her before. I hope you got it. Here ends rule number 2. Heading on to rule number 3 of present perfect tense, an action that was completed in the very recent past, expressed by just. Okay, it says that if you have to use this adverb just, in that case we use present perfect tense, and that is grammatically the best and correct. Let's look at the examples. I have just come from work, or just now come from work. Second is I have just finished my prayer. So what does these statements imply? What do you see here? Very recent past. The action in the examples have taken place in the very recent past. Now, what is the difference between recent past and very recent past? Very recent past means it has taken place at this moment, at this very second, at this instant. And that is what draws our attention to present perfect tense. I have just come from work. In case you say, I came from work, I just came from work, or I just finished my prayer, then I am not able to decipher the time. Of course, I know that this has happened somewhere in the past, but I'm not sure whether it happened right at the moment. If you have to say right at the moment, then use present perfect tense. Along with the adverb just, you have to use present perfect tense. Have plus V3, have plus V3. Rule number 3 is done. Here comes rule number 4, and that is present perfect is used when time is not important. When time is not important. So if you observe the examples and rules of present perfect throughout, one thing that is prominent, one thing that stands out everywhere is that accuracy of time is not important. Accurate time, precise time, or the exact time is nowhere mentioned or is important in present perfect. Present perfect only says the recent past or the recent time, recent now, etc. So let's look at the examples for a better clarity. Example 1, have you read Harry Potter? So have plus read is in present perfect. So this is an interrogative sentence and this is the subject. In interrogative sentence, subject is between the verb. So imagine that I have visited my cousin's home and I asked my cousin, have you read the book Harry Potter? Okay, I am not interested in knowing whether he read it in 2018 or 2005 or in the 1990s. No, I am not interested in time at all because action is important. Did you understand? In present perfect tense, more than time, action is important. Here I asked my cousin whether he read Harry Potter. Reading Harry Potter is more important than the time, than to know when he actually read Harry Potter. Now, second, it has rained a lot this year. Again, this is in present perfect tense. Has rained. So, I'm giving you another example. Imagine that I'm on a phone call with my cousin and I'm chit-chatting and I say to my cousin, "Oh, my cousin, it has rained a lot this year." So what does that mean? I have no intention to say to my cousin, "Hey cousin, it rained a lot in January, then it became less in February, then again it was raining a lot in March." No, this is not the way we speak to someone. Actually, my concern was we have got a lot of rain this year. Again, we have got a lot of rain this year. So in such cases where the action is more important than the accuracy of time, we follow present perfect tense. Okay, let's look at the third examples. Again, it's an interrogative sentence written in negative. So this is a subject, this is negative, and they come in between the verb have done. Haven't you done your PhD in English? Okay, I just forgot about my friend's designation and I asked her, "Hey, Smita, haven't you done your PhD in English?" No, I am not interested in knowing whether she submitted her thesis or dissertation in 2018 or 2005. That's not important. That doesn't make any sense to me. I'm only interested in knowing if her PhD is in English. And since this takes place at the current moment, we follow present perfect tense. So here the action is more important. Let's look at the fourth example. I haven't seen her today. I haven't seen her at all. I haven't seen her anywhere. Okay, seeing her is the person missing is important than the time. Rule number 5. I am giving you a list of words, phrases, commonly or mainly adverbs with which we use present perfect tense. Let's have a look at the list of words. They are ever, never, already, recently, so far, up to now, until now, up till now, yet, many times, once, several, neither nor. So all these are mainly adverbs. So we use mainly present perfect tense with these words. You need to memorize these words. Let's have a look at the example. Why do we use present perfect with these words or adverbs? Because here time is not identified. Time is not specified, time is not important, and that's why we use present perfect tense with such words. Let's look at the first example. Have you ever taken it seriously? So in all these examples, action or the event is important than time. Okay, have you ever taken it seriously? With ever, you use present perfect tense. Second example, has she ever visited you? Again, present perfect tense. Third example is she has never ever behaved that way. Okay, again, present perfect tense, action is happening just at the moment, right in the past. So the communication is happening in the present. I'm just reminding you. Fourth example is no one has ever said that to me. Again, with ever in the present, we use present perfect tense. Fifth example is I have never seen her since ages. I have never seen her for years. So you need to keep this in mind. With words like since and for prepositions, we use present perfect tense. I hope you got it. Let's move on to the remaining examples. Proceeding with the remaining examples where the action is happening in the recent present, let's see. Neither has Alice nor her friend completed the work. So with neither nor in the present, we use present perfect tense. Okay, seventh is I have already read that book. Okay, again, the verb already, we use present perfect tense. Now, eighth is hasn't he started yet? We use present perfect with yet. Next is ninth. They haven't done it yet. They haven't finished it yet. Again, we use present perfect with the adverb. 10th, the scientists have recently discovered the plant species. Again, with the adverb, we use present perfect. So, kindly memorize these adverbs, words and phrases to be used with present perfect tense. Moving on to the next rule. Rule number 6. Have been, has been. Now what are they? Present perfect forms of the irregular verb be. Now has been is used with third person singular, he, she, it. Have been is used with they, we, I and you. Now, for what is this used or what is its prominence or relevance here in this tense rule or use? Okay, it is used to emphasize the location. Let's look at the example. Where have you been to? If I want to ask someone, where have you been to means where have you gone? I can say, where have you been to? So that's all about location. Second is, I've just been to my sister's place. Again, it's all about location. Have you ever been to that place? Has she been there? Okay. So this rule is used to emphasize the location in present perfect tense. Moving on to the next rule. So rule number 7, and here I have divided the time into 2 parts. So over this side we have the time, and that is the finished past. And over to this side, we have an unfinished time. Time that is not yet completed or finished. You'll understand it better when we refer the examples. The first example is, I have seen that movie yesterday. Okay, so this sentence is grammatically incorrect. Why? Because we do not use present perfect tense for the finished past. Grammatically correct sentences, I saw that movie yesterday. Now look here, last week we have gone for a drive. Again, this is wrong because last week the time is already completed, it is finished, and in such case we cannot use present perfect tense. The name itself says present perfect. Then how can we use past in a present perfect sentence? This is wrong. Last month I have seen her. Again, wrong. Have seen, wrong. I saw her last month. This is correct. Next example is, I have visited her last year. I have visited her in 2017. I have done this work in 1990s. All this is wrong. We do not use present perfect tense for finished past. Now let's move on to this. When and where do we use present perfect tense? For the time that is unfinished. Let's look at the examples. I have seen the movie this week only. I mean to say that this week is not yet completed. There are still days to go. This week is still in the making, is still in the process. And so this sentence is correct. Let's look at the second example. We have gone for a trip this week, which my intention is this week is still not completed yet. There are 3 or 4 days to go, and this sentence is correct. If it is not past, then we can use present perfect tense. I have seen her this month. Again, present perfect. So this month is not completed yet. It is still in the making. There are still 10 or 5 or 15 days to go for the month to get completed. So for the present, we can use for the time which is unspecified and unfinished, and it refers to the present where the communication is taking place in the present and possible that it can continue in the future. Then we use present perfect tense. I hope it's crystal clear. Moving on to the next rule. Here comes the 8th rule of present perfect tense, and that is to denote a change that has occurred over a certain period of time. Okay, so here I have taken the same examples that were discussed in the 8th rule of present continuous tense. Let's see. First example is, he has grown up so fast. Your aunt has visited you after so many years, and upon seeing you, she gives out this remark, hey, he has grown up so fast. Here already there is an accomplishment. It has achieved a finalization. He has grown up so fast. While in the present continuous tense, your aunt was visiting you constantly and she was giving this comment, hey, he's growing up so fast. There was no culmination at that point of time. The growth was still in the transition process. But here it has achieved a culmination. He has grown up. There's nothing more we can do to it. Second is, English has become the most popular language. What can we do? It has already made up its mark. It has become the most popular language. So the difference between present continuous tense PCT and present perfect tense PPT is all about the continuity. Here it is achieved the accomplishment. Over there it is still in progress. I hope you got it. Third is, my English has improved. Okay, it has considerably achieved the improvement. Has improved. Next is, the climate has totally changed. Over there in PCT, I was seeing the symptoms of the climate getting changed. I was seeing it through the ears. The climate is changing. But here, when I came now, the climate has totally changed. Now, there's no going back. It has achieved a finalization or a conclusion or a termination or a culmination. I hope this topic is crystal clear. Enjoy your day.